Está con nosotros Matt Wood, vicepresidente de Inteligencia Artificial y Tecnología de Amazon Web Services, participando como ponente en el evento de Telmex, de Fundación Telmex Telcel México Siglo XXI. Y bueno, para compartir con nosotros todas las novedades que hay en materia de inteligencia artificial, que pues es lo de hoy. Matt, thank you very much for this interview. Thank you for being here. And first, I prepared some questions for the tech savvy and a few for others, like for people like me who have so many doubts regarding AI. So I will start with the general perceptions. Okay. How will AI transform the way we work and live in the short term? There are so many positive additions to our everyday lives.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, AI seems to be everywhere at the moment, and it's probably the single largest technical shift in how we're going to interact with data and information and each other, probably since the advent of the very earliest internet. And organizations and people that started working with the internet 30 years ago have gone on to do some pretty remarkable things in the past 30 years, including Amazon.com itself. And so it's my guess that, you know, in the next 30 years, those that are experimenting with and working with AI today are going to experience multiple Amazons of growth over the next 30 years, or maybe even sooner. And so the sort of things that you can use artificial intelligence for today is looking inside documents. And so a lot of insurance companies have very old life insurance documents. They're kind of 90 years old, which probably means they're going to pay out in the next decade or so. And they've been scanned at some point, but no one's ever read them. So the insurance companies have no idea what level of risk is associated to those documents. And so they're using artificial intelligence to read those insurance documents, understand the risk, and then use that to guide their business going forwards. You can, of course, create videos, you can create music, you can do all of those sorts of things. It's a new golden era for creativity. And there's a lot of applications for chatbots or assistants in brainstorming new ideas, building new products, but also in improving mental health. So if you look at patients that have undergone some sort of surgery and you give them a chatbot that's got the right tools inside it to help you manage your health after surgery, not only do you see that group has better mental health, but they have lower levels of pain as well by a significant amount. So just by providing that safe space and the right set of tools to help patients through their journey, they move through it a lot more quickly and come out a lot more healthy on the other side.
Oh, that sounds great. Is there anything that worries you regarding the ways our lives will change with IA?
I think probably it's not really a worry so much as just something to be aware of. And I think that is, jobs are going to change. The way that we work is going to change. The way that we interact with each other is going to change. And as a result, our jobs are going to change. And we need to be really mindful of that change. We need to be really proactive in managing that change. We need to be really thoughtful about how we identify those roles that are going to change and give those people the right tools to be able to navigate a world where artificial intelligence is doing a lot of the work that we do today, primarily the typing work, not the thinking work. AI is going to replace the typing part of our jobs, but the thinking part of our jobs is going to become even more important as a result. So we need to be really mindful about how we identify and reskill and upskill and help manage that job transition for those roles that are going to be impacted.
And there are always some like apocalyptic notions on AI. Are they really a threat? Do you think that IA should be strictly regulated so there are not danger of potential misuse?
Well, I don't think that AI is going to bring the downfall of society or anything like that. I know people talk about that a lot, but actually it does not seem very likely. I would say, go as far as to say it's impossible to happen the way that these systems are built. Moreover, having those sorts of discussions is actually quite distracting from some real issues like jobs that we need to work through, like the opportunity to be able to manage misinformation, like the opportunity to be able to identify and remove deep fakes. All these sorts of things are very real concerns. So there's not just one problem with artificial intelligence that it's going to bring about the downfall of society. There are lots of smaller issues which collectively as a society, as humans, we need to work together to be able to understand. And it's my guess that over that time, what we consider reasonable use for artificial intelligence will evolve, just like any other technology. It's hard actually to think of any product or service or tool that is useful that doesn't come with some expectation of responsibility by the end user. You know, if I was to buy a baseball bat, there is some level of responsible use associated to that baseball bat.
Sure.
And as a society, we are very used to working with baseball bats. We know what that responsible use looks like. We know what irresponsible use looks like. And so as a society, we'll build more familiarity with what is reasonable, what we consider reasonable as a society, what we consider irresponsible as a society. And in addition to that, there will be some use cases which we consider so dangerous that we want to be able to regulate them. And so regulation here is a very healthy part of the maturation of the technology.
Yes, I bet. What is your favorite part of IA?
My favorite part, I think it has to be some of the work that's going on around life sciences. The opportunity to be able to use artificial intelligence, not just to help with patients, as we were talking about earlier, but actually to accelerate the pace at which we can develop new medicine. That is transformative. It's not just a little bit better; it is a lot better than we were able to do before. And so that opportunity to design new proteins, design new antibodies, to be able to design the molecules that bind those pieces together, that has never been possible before. And it is so easy to do today that we're going to start to see the opportunity not to just invent new categories of medications, but to be able to create medications specifically for individuals. And that's really relevant when it comes to things like cancer. So cancer is not one disease. It's like a shotgun to the genome. It's why every cancer is a little bit different. And so the opportunity to be able to build a molecule which is exact fit for the specific problem that has caused our cancer, that is transformative as well. So there's so much opportunity with drug development and the opportunity to start addressing and not just identifying, but treating cancer in a personal way.
So now all the studies on genomic medicine will come true with all this technology in a shorter time.
Yeah, it's interesting because your entire genome is only half as predictive as your family history when it comes to your health. So you actually need the genomic information in addition to all the family history information that your general practitioner or physician would collect from you or when you went in for just a checkup. So, you know, what did the history of your mother, your father, your grandparents, that's really useful to the AI as well. So genomic information, the family history information, and all the other patient notes that exist, that is all just latent value that we can start to pull together with artificial intelligence to improve healthcare.
Okay. Matt, as a new VP of AI products in Amazon Web Services, what are your main priorities for this year?
Yeah, it's a good question. Priority number one is to really continue to improve the silicon, the chips, right at the heart of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence has two steps. Training, where you train the models, and then when you actually use the models for prediction. And what we've been building at Amazon are specific chips, computer chips, which accelerate training and accelerate predictions. And they do that with a lot less cost, and critically, they do it with a lot less power requirements than is possible today. So as a result, you can build much larger, more capable artificial intelligence systems, which at a fraction of the cost and at a fraction of the energy requirements. So that's a really important part to get right. We're also working on making sure that everybody can start to use the power of artificial intelligence in any application that they want. So to be able to use it inside their organization, to be able to use it inside their startup, inside a government agency, and to make that as easy as possible, as well as building our own chatbot assistant that we call Amazon Q. And Q helps with all sorts of problems like writing code or designing applications or helping understand your work environment and many other things with data analysis. So those are our main priorities.
And well, AI is the topic everywhere, and being the expert, what are the trends that you might have the most impact in Latin America in the short term?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think part of the reason that at Amazon we're investing in Mexico, we're building a new set of data centers here, what we call a region. right here in Mexico. It's going to open beginning of next year as part of a $5 billion investment in Mexico all up. That's going to provide local compute capacity to build artificially intelligent systems and applications. So that's the first thing. And in parallel to that, we're also committing to training about 130,000 individuals in how to use artificial intelligence and cloud computing alongside it. So there's a huge opportunity, and our investments are in line with that.
And as to for Mexican enterprises, what would be like your suggestion on where will these lead them?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think the future of using artificial intelligence is in allowing the people inside your organization to work more efficiently on their own and in collaboration with one another. And so it's tempting to think of artificial intelligence as a technology and the mathematics and the computer chips and all those sorts of things. But really the thing that makes it successful inside an organization is the culture and the people that you put around it. And the ability to be able to have a culture where you are learning quickly, where you are encouraging experimentation, safe experimentation, where you have a place where you can build, where you can operate as an owner. I think that's going to be critically important going forward, as important, if not more, than the technology itself. And so having those two things together, the technology and the culture, is going to be the critical part for growth going forwards.
Because finally, human beings are the one who put the input on which feeds IA, like to establish patterns and to give you answers on the outputs of what we, our knowledge, are putting in. Am I understanding?
Yeah,
this right?
you can ask questions, you can provide prompts to the AI, and the AI will interpret that and then do something with it, and it gives you an output. And that output may be an image, it may be an evaluation of a market report, it might be the risk associated to your life insurance document. But critically, not only are humans responsible for asking the questions, they're also responsible for interpreting the answers. And so AI is really just one input of many, potentially, that humans will use to be able to do their jobs more efficiently.
We will have to be educated or trained at our jobs, or inclusive at home, to be able to understand this huge cup and use it as we should.
Yeah, absolutely. The single best way I know to start building that knowledge is just to get started. It's just to find something like an app that has artificial intelligence inside it. You can use any of the Meta apps. They have the Meta Assistant inside it. You can get the Claude AI app. You just download it and start using it. And you should think of it as just a safe space. You can't make a mistake. You can't break it. The AI isn't judging you. It doesn't care what it's talking about. It will help you with any task. And so just getting fingers onto the applications and just start to experiment with them, that's the single best way to start growing our intuition about what works well and what doesn't work well.
Well, absolutely. The future, what we thought was the future, is present. Thank you for all this information, and thank you for this interview.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise.